So I never buy the games I play. We never buy the games that we play. So if I wanted to play Mario Kart, I can play Mario Kart. If I wanted to play Zelda, I can play Zelda. And you might say, but those games cost money. Well, back then, when I was a kid, even growing up, it was hard for my mom to get games, but she still got them for me. Um, because they cost so much money, sometimes 30, sometimes $60. And she got me games when she could. But on this device you're watching me on, if you're watching me on a phone, if you're watching me on whatever, computer, laptop, you can use that, what you're watching me with, or what you watch YouTube with, you can use that to play video games. People make websites, and you got to look into it to which ones are safe, and they store video games on there. And they preserve video games, and you can get an emulator from Google Play Store, from a website. There's emulators for 3DS, for Nintendo DS. I had this one emulator for Nintendo DS. It's called Draystick. I play Mario Kart DS on that. I play New Super Mario Bros. DS on that. I beat New Super Mario Bros. DS on that. And even if you don't have like a high end phone, you don't have a phone with a big processor or like a Snapdragon processor, you can use your phone unless you got like a flip phone or something like that. Hell, even my grandma had Pac-Man on her flip phone. But that's another story. That's not emulating games. Maybe it is. But I'm not saying it's easy. Sometimes it is easy. Like if you want to emulate Nintendo DS, Game Boy Advance, you can go to the App Store right now, and there is an app, an emulator called Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy A for Game Boy Advance. Dude, you can play Super Mario World on that mug. You can play Dragon Ball Z on that mug. And yeah, you can play Donkey Kong Country on that mug. And it might not be the best way to play all types of games, but it's a way, bro. It's a way. And at first, the first games I emulated were Nintendo 64 games on a app called Mupen 64 Plus or something like that. Free, free. And I go to website, get my games, and put them. You can watch tutorials. There's a tutorial for everything that you need or that you want to do. There's a tutorial for it. And that's what I started watching tutorials, but now I just ask Google AI. That I got more knowledge about emulating games. I just ask Google AI. And when I first got Nintendo 64 game, I never had a Nintendo 64. I never had a GameCube. But I've played GameCube games. I've beat GameCube games. I've beat. You know what I'm saying? And so I started getting more into the settings side of it. Um, I started tweaking my settings to make the game run perfect. Perfect. And I'm able to emulate on a 3 gigabytes of RAM on tablet from Walmart, generic tablet that's meant for searching, streaming YouTube or streaming movies or whatever. I'm able to turn this mug into a portable, just like the Nintendo 3DS or a DS, into a portable game system. Anybody could do this. If you're watching this video right now, you could do it too. You could play any game. I mean, you have to have a high-end phone to play like PS3, even PS2 and up, or Wii. You have to have a pretty high-end phone. I played Super Mario Bros. Wii, new Super Mario Bros. Wii, and it worked. I got the settings to run the best I could, and there was some slow down to some of the levels, but I beat the game. I unlocked six levels on World 9. No spoilers because not everybody's played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but yeah, bro, I don't pay for games anymore. And yeah, you might have to pay for the newer ones if you have a Nintendo Switch. You know what I'm saying? If you already have a game system and you pay for your games, that's good. But if you wanted to try out a game before you bought it, or try out something before you bought it, or even if you don't have any games that you can play, you can emulate video games. I feel like everybody should know that, because anybody who wants to play a video game, or maybe hasn't got to play a game and they thought about it before, like me, Zelda. I never There was a time in my life when I was a kid where seeing a game that wasn't Mario blew my mind. I thought Mario was like, you know, the only game, because that's the game I had. That's the game I grew up. Mario Kart. So seeing a game like Rayman Origins on my 3DS blew my mind. Uh, but yeah, man, there's some things that you know are heavier, like GameCube, or um, like Mario Sunshine on GameCube, or Wii, or um, 3DS, like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for 3DS. Those games and game systems, you'll have to tweak settings. You'll have to go in the settings, and you'll have to trial and error it. Sometimes you're like, this isn't playable. This isn't fun. But then you can ask Google AI, and be like, hey, what's the best way I can run this game on my exact tablet or on my computer? And they'll ask you, what type of processor do you have? I have a MediaTek processor, and that's the low end, but I'm able to run games that are high end because of the way I configure settings. And so I know this might be crazy talk or whatever. I feel like it's becoming more known. Um, but yeah, like I don't have a game system besides this tablet I'm recording on, and it's a game system. I can play any Nintendo DS game, any Game Boy Advance game. Now there are some problems with my personal tablet, like I can't download any other emulators now, but I have about 5 or 6 emulators. I shouldn't need to, even though I want to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like right now I'm playing for the 3DS. Um, I beat Super Mario 3D Land, which that game as a kid, that's one of the only Mario games. That was my first 3D Mario. I didn't play Super Mario 64. I didn't play Sunshine. But after 3D Land, my second 3D Mario was Galaxy. And I played a little bit of that, not because I didn't like it, I loved it, but because it was hard for me to play. That game was tricky, challenging. And my controller, the battery would run out, and I'd have to wait to get batteries. It'd be nighttime, and I'm like, Mom, my battery's out. And I'm just looking at Mario on the screen with the Power Star. I'm like, I want to play this so bad. But yeah, you ain't got to worry about your batteries running out. You ain't got to worry about nothing of that, bro. I just want to let that be known. Like, if you want to emulate games, look up Nintendo 3DS emulation tutorial for Android, or for iPhone, or for PC. Look that up if you want to do Nintendo 3DS games. If you want to do GameCube games, the same thing. GameCube emulator or GameCube emulation for Android. Because think about it, emulating, it's like imitating. If you ever played charades, I tell people this who don't know what I'm talking about when they come over or something. When you play charades, somebody gets like a card, or somebody gets like something, and say they get a duck. So they try to imitate a duck, like, wah. wah, wah, and then somebody guess what they doing. That's basically what an emulator is. It it imitates a GameCube. It imitates a Nintendo 3DS or DS or whatever system. And now you can plug in those games to your phone, to your tablet for no price. Especially nowadays because games are getting expensive and yeah. So a lot of people or some people have things against emulation, like nah, because those aren't really like your games or whatever. They are. They are. They are though. Thank God, bro. But yeah, if there's a game you haven't been able to play or want to revisit, or I don't know, you can play it on your phone that you're watching me on right now. It might be tricky to get running or working, but it does work. It's not like V-Bucks. It's not like you go on a website and download a whole bunch of apps just to verify or activate your V-Bucks. That never worked. Let's be so for real. That never worked. That never worked. Emulation is straight download to your phone, make a file named 3DS, GameCube, Dolphin. Dolphin emulator is an emulator for GameCube or Wii. And then put your games in there. Extract them. At first, I was like, what the heck does that mean? But then I seen a person just press the extract button and then it said from a zip file to a NDS file. And so it is simple. Just watch videos on it. Um, look up any questions you have about it, because Google AI can really help you with when it comes to a plethora of things, a lot of things. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video informing anybody that was curious about emulation or playing playing games on your phone besides playing like something like Ocean Horn fire from, but you even have to buy Ocean Horn if you want to play Zelda the Wind Waker.